Hey everybody, this is Perch. What's more important? Shipping comics regularly, getting comics out on time, or having a great story? Or having a great creative team of a writer and an artist? Um, all of them, dumbasses, all of them. Right. I'm sorry. There's a dialogue right now. A number of people have sent me mail going, well, what do you think's more important? Like having a good story or shipping the comics? And it's like, both. Well, yeah, but if you had to pick one, no, I'm not. No, I'm not just picking one. Both. The answer is both. I don't understand. Like, look, let me put it. Let me use this in a different kind of analogy for you. Okay, okay. Which would you rather have? A car or gasoline in the car? You only get to pick one. What do you want? Gasoline or car? It's like, what would you like? Plate of lasagna or silverware? It's like, well, I'd prefer both. I prefer both. I guess I could eat the lasagna with my face like a dog on the floor if I had to. I guess I could sit in my car and like hire people to push it around rather than fill it with gas. Yes, I suppose I could also just take the gas and then use it to light something on fire. There's a lot of options here, but really the ideal solution is both. It is both, you dumb fuckers. It's both. You cannot have just one or the other. You actually have to have both. And so this comic debate that's going on right now, like, well, which is more important to you, shipping on time or having a good story? What is the point of shipping on time and having lots of books out in the hands of people's, if nobody can read them, if they are unintelligible garbage, okay, they're not worth very much. Congratulations, you have shipped paper with some kind of coloring on them. Okay, that doesn't get you very far. It also has to be a good story. Okay, conversely, what if you have a great story, but it never ships? Well, that is also useless because nobody can read your great story. Or if you're in the comic book industry and you tell, serialized stories with cliffhangers and you put one book out every 5 years, people will lose interest really fast. Think about goddamn, I was like, think about Game of Thrones season 1, okay, the first season. But there was a 2-year wait between every episode. It doesn't matter how hot Daenerys is or how much we want to see those dragons burn a bitch. Nobody's going to keep watching that show with the 2-year break between episodes, even if it's the most masterful, beautiful thing in the world. Again, conversely, if Game of Thrones was a pile of hot garbage, nobody is going to actually watch that show, even if it comes out routinely every single week. It's not going to happen. You have to have both things at once. And if you are asking me to live in some kind of fictional fantasy world where I have to pick one or the other, my answer is fuck off to both those options. Now the comic industry can tolerate some lateness. We've seen it, the end of Ultimates, the Brian Hitch, Mark Miller Ultimate series was late. When it finally came out, it had certainly had some lengthy delays. Jonathan Hickman, Secret Wars had delays. Okay, Civil War had delays. Some of the comics that sold lots of copies had delays. You can have some delays. You just can't have infinite delays. And the delay can't be so open-ended. I mean, like, put it this way. If the Jonathan Hickman Secret War comic had come out and like issue 4 came out and it's like, all right, issue 5 will be out eventually. I don't know, a month, a year, 5 years, somewhere in there. It would have killed the comic really fast. It would have killed the comic. You can't just ship when you feel like it. It is a monthly business, or you could set the expectation it's every other month. You can do different things, but once you set that expectation, you have to take it. So in the world of like crowdfunding, if you say, hey, give me all your money and then you'll get a book, in a timely fashion, I guess timely is in the eye of the beholder, but it can't be infinitely late. Your backers, if they really trust you and you built up some credibility and other things, they will give you some extra time if you communicate well with them and say, "Hey, look, the book's not ready yet. There's a problem here. If the artist flaked out, and whatever." People will be pretty tolerant, but they're not going to be tolerant infinitely. And one of the things that you need to do is, if you are late on a book, you need to show some signs that you're actually working on said book. If you are, if you, for example, you have a campaign and it's late and you go ahead and do 2 or 3 more campaigns without fulfilling your first campaign, and there's like no updates to people, been no excuse given, there's been no reason given behind all this, then yeah, you're going to lose your audience for sure. If you just start churning out absolute unreadable shit, you will lose your audience. It turns out you need both together. And by the way, at the very beginning of this video, I said, ship on time, ship a good story, ship with, have great creators, hot creators on your book. Ideally, you need all 3. You can get away with 2. You can get away with a little lateness and a great story. You can get away with on time and a, medium story. You can get away with, on time, great creators, absolute shit story. If the art is good, you can mix and match. You can be late, but have great story, great creators. You could do that. But again, not infinite late, nor unreadable. Like there's a difference between like this comic could kind of hold a story together. It's okay. A lot of the current big 2 comics often fit this description. You read it. It's like, well, I mean, there was a comic here. There was a story. Pages were turned and things happened. It wasn't like they just took one random page from every comic that month and shoved it together in one book, or, did some and creative team, if it's thoroughly egregious art, like absolutely like unfinished, clearly wrong, AI in parts, the guy has a 6th finger just hanging there's certainly different levels to what you can do, but you have to do both. And one of the most bewildering parts of the current discourse in comics is people trying to claim that you can only get one. It's like, well, I could give you my book on time, but it will look awful. It's like, all right, I don't want that. It's like, or you could wait somewhere between 2 to 10 years, and then you'll eventually get that book. But boy, it's going to look good. It's going to look good. You will have forgotten what it is that, have been done. And there will be jokes in the book about like Coney 2012, because that was what was hot when I wrote this thing. But, I hate the, some of the phrases. It's like, well, you have to, it's worth waiting for something good. Yeah. To a point. If you go into a restaurant and it's a nice Michelin 5-star restaurant and you sit down and the chef's like, just so you know, this is all handcrafted food. It's going to be really good. So it's going to be probably like 3 or 4 hours to get your dinner. You'd be like, oh shit, 3 or 4 hours. Okay. Well, the booth is comfortable and, it's the best chef in the world, or, and I've heard good things. I'm ordering this bottle of wine, and good thing I've got some friends here to have some conversation. So I'll wait it out. It's funny. I'm saying like 3 to 4 hours. There's people listening to this right now in Europe who like, wow, what's a fast food, huh? Sorry. I would, it would drive me crazy when I go to dinner in Madrid or Barcelona, and people there would be, I just drove by this house and there's a trampoline out in the front yard and a bunch of like 6 boys on that trampoline, none of which look like they're in good shape, and all of which were wearing what looks like Hanes underwear and nothing else. And they're just bouncing away on that thing. Like, what Texas, y'all? Anyway, what the fuck that was. At least they're not in California. No, I'm not going to finish that joke. Okay. Anyway, that derailed me so utterly. I was just the weirdest shit. Okay. All right. What I was saying was, I hate these excuses that come in for, just basic things like, well, this comic, sure, it doesn't have the handcrafted art, but I was doing a segue into another topic, and I segued out of that topic. I remember now I was talking about European food, And I was over in Barcelona, and the dinner is like it's like 8 hours. I'm exaggerating, but not by much. Like you sit down there, it's like, get ready, folks. You're just going to be here forever, and we're going to serve you at our pace. So get ready to be super fucking drunk because this is going to be going on forever. Anyway, yeah, as it may. If you sat down and they said, "Hey, your dinner will be out. It's going to be really, really good, but it's going to come out eventually." And then like 6 hours later, they came out and they're like, you know what, you're going to need to go home and come back in tomorrow. Your dinner may be ready tomorrow. I don't know. You're like, you can't rush greatness. Yeah, you can rush greatness. It turns out you can. You absolutely can. You can't rush greatness. Yeah, fuck yeah, you can. Like if you're a consumer, you're going to rush some greatness because nobody will wait around forever. So yeah, ship shit on time. Yes, you do need to do that. You do need to ship shit on time. But that does not mean you can get away with just putting out unreadable shit. You can't do that either. It turns out you're going to actually have to produce something decent. You're going to have to try and get the best creators you can to do it, and you need to ship at a reasonable time. You have to do all three. No, we're not going to pick one of those. All three. Or at least two out of those three. Which really tells you how standards have lowered, because back in 1992, there were people out there going, hang on a second. You're telling me, and I swear this is a real conversation in a comic shop. Fans are coming in going, you're telling me this Jim Lee, Chris Claremont issue of X-Men is going to be a week late? Fuck you. I'm not waiting a week. And then, of course, Image came along and they're like, hold my beer. We're going to solicit, like, I don't know who I'm going to feel, like Youngblood #3, and it will be out in 5 years. Good luck. That's an exaggeration. It didn't take that long. Or did it? I don't remember anymore because I got tired of waiting. But that's where we are. This is a dumb ass debate. You got to do all of the above. Guess what? Buckle up. That's what being a professional is like. Thanks for listening.